Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Wishing a very good day to Dr. Dila, and we will be presenting about the payment systems and working hours. This is my team members, and this is the list of content that we will be covered in our presentation for today.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Nina Najiha binti Noor Azali. I'll be your first presenter. Together with my friend, we have chosen a contemporary issue concerning human resource, which is payment system and working hours. I will begin with the introductions of this issue. Payment system and working hours are important parts of human resource management because they affect how employees feel about fairness, motivation, and work-life balance. Pay can be given through salary, hourly wages, or based on performance. Working hours include things like overtime, flexible time, and remote work. In today's changing work world, it is important for a company to manage this area well to attract and keep good workers and meet their goals.
Now, I'm going to be discussing on the positive impacts of fair pay practices. From the employee's perspective, fair pay leads to increased job satisfaction. So when employees feel valued and respected at work, they will become more engaged and happier at work. This could also result in better retention as competitive pay reduces turnover, giving employees career stability and lowering stress from job insecurity. On top of that, fair wages bring increased motivation, encouraging employees to stay focused, work harder, and remain productive. From the organization perspective, fair pay helps to attract and retain talent. Offering competitive compensation gives firms a strong advantage in the market. It also improves reputation because transparent pay practices build trust and strengthen the company's image among employees, clients, and the public. Lastly, fair pay can cut costs since lower turnover means reduced recruitment and training expenses while preserving valuable knowledge and experience within the organization.
Okay, now I will talk about the negative impacts of payment systems and working hours. First, for employees, if people work too many hours, they can feel tired and stressed. This can also cause burnout and make it hard to balance work and personal life. Another problem is unfair pay. If the salary is not enough or not the same as the effort they put in, employees will feel unhappy and demotivated. Also, if payment is not connected to performance, workers might feel like their hard work is not valued. Next, for the organization, when employees are not happy, many will quit the job or take more sick leave. This will make the company lose productivity and also waste time and money to hire new people. Unfair pay and long hours can also cause argument, complaints, or conflict between workers and management. The worst case is the company might face legal problems if they don't follow labor laws about wages or overtime. So overall, if payment and working hours are not managed properly, it will create a lot of problems for both the employees and the organization.
Now moving on, we will continue to the consequences of not addressing these issues in regards to the payment systems and working hours in certain companies. Firstly, in regards to the payment systems, it'll be harder to attract the skilled talent. If salaries and rewards remain below the market, the best candidates will go to competitors offering better pay packages. Over time, this limits the company's ability to hire skilled and innovative employees. Number 2, which the effect would be the weaker employer reputation. So the employer brand would weaken. And why? It is because a continued perception of unfair pay damages the company's image and reduces recruitment success. If employees feel underpaid or unfairly treated, the company's reputation as an employer declines, making future recruitment much more difficult. Which brings us to third, the employees will disengage, which will have a long-term disengagement because when staff see that pay is unfair or recognition is missing, they stop going the extra mile. Employees who see no pay fairness or recognition may stop putting in extra effort, which in turn this results into quiet quitting. Now we move on to the consequences if we were to ignore the issues regarding the working hours. Firstly, there will be a loss of younger workforce. Why is this? It is because if flexibility is ignored, Gen Z and millennials may avoid joining or staying with the company as a whole. If rigid hours remain, they are less likely to join or stay, creating a future talent gap that's harder to fill, as because the older generation, the older associates, won't have any replacement as to when they retire. Which brings me to my second point, the stagnant organizational growth. Why? It is because prolonged burnout and rigid hours reduce productivity, holding back innovation and expansion. Without fresh ideas and motivated staff, the company risks falling behind competitors and missing expansion opportunities. So for the third point, there will be an obvious decline in customer satisfaction. Overworked employees deliver weaker service and make more mistakes, leading to unhappy customers, which in turn will lower customer loyalty and eventually reduces the revenue of the certain companies. So with this, we must look forward to always searching for the solutions to overcome these issues.
Next, I want to share some quick, practical ideas to improve payment systems and working hours in the workplace. These two areas might sound technical, but they actually have a huge impact on how people feel at work. Let's start with pay. When salaries aren't fair or clear, people lose motivation. They start thinking, why am I even trying? And when payroll mess up, late payments, wrong amounts, it creates mistrust. Plus, if your pay structure isn't competitive, good talent will walk out the door. So, what can we do? First, reward people based on performance. If someone's doing great work, they should feel it in their paycheck. Second, switch to digital payroll system. They are faster, more accurate, and way less drama. And third, don't underestimate non-monetary rewards. A bit of recognition, training opportunities, or wellness perks can make people feel valued without blowing the budget. Now, working hours. If you force everyone into a rigid 9 to 5, you're basically ignoring how different people work best. The result, burnout, absenteeism, and low productivity. Some people are night owls, some have family commitments, and some just had traffic. So, here's the fix. Offer flexi hours or compressed work weeks. Let people choose when they are most productive. Remote work is another game changer. It cuts down stress and gives people more control. And to keep things fair, use time tracking apps. Not to spy, but to make sure everyone's pulling their weight. For shift workers, match their hours to when they are actually alert, not just when the schedule says so. So yeah, payment system and working hours might sound like HR admin stuff, but they're actually the foundation of a happy, productive team. Fix them and you will see the difference.
In summary, how a company handles pay and working hours affect the relationship between employer and employees. When pay is fair and hours are flexible, employees are happier, less stressed, and more motivated. This helps companies build loyal teams, get better results, and earn a good reputation. But if these issues being ignored, it can lead to unhappy staff, high turnover, legal trouble, and a weaker business. That's why it is so important to create systems that are fair, flexible, and effective for long-term success.